All right, welcome everyone. I'm so excited to have you all here. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Melissa McQueenie. I am a mom, a wife, a therapist, a coach, and I'm here tonight to share with you some tips that I have learned and implemented in my life that have just been a total game changer for transforming my life. And these are really things that I'm sure you've heard before. You may have even heard them from me if you've heard me speak before, but they've made a profound impact, and it's something that I really, really believe that will help you if you're looking, to make some adjustments into your mindset or just looking to change your life in any way. So let me just give you a backstory. As I said, I am a therapist. I've been a therapist for, oh my God, maybe, yikes, I didn't realize I was that old, maybe 15 years. That's crazy. I really feel like I'm still 16. And I have been a coach for 4.5 years. I am a mom of Kaylin. She is 16, Declan is 11, and Matica is 7. And when Kaylin was 8 years old, she signed up for a running club with her school. I was, at the time, sedentary smoker, always wanted to live a healthier lifestyle and just didn't know how to set that in motion. I had no idea what to do to get there. It was kind of like one of those things, like every year I would run a 5K on my New Year's resolution list, but I never took the steps to make those things happen. And I kind of always looked at people who were active and longed to be like that, and I just didn't know how to get there. And when my daughter was in her running club, as I said, I was 6 months postpartum with my youngest, and I watched Kaylin run a 5K with the students in her class, the parents of those students, the teachers, and that was my moment that I said, enough is enough. Something has to change. I am not living this life anymore. I want to actively live my life. I want to be able to do anything that my kids want me to do. I want to participate in their lives, and I wasn't going to let anything hold me back any longer. And like anything, I had those thoughts, and it took me some time to get those set into motion, but that was definitely the moment that I said, I'm not doing this anymore. And that fall, I ran my first 5K. I fell in love with running, and everything became running. I went from a 5K to a 10K to a half marathon to a marathon. And it wasn't until I ran my first marathon in 2015 that I was the healthiest I'd ever been in terms of movement. I was running all these miles, but I was also eating all this food. And when I ran the miles and ate the food, I gained 20 pounds training for my first marathon. And I was like, this is crazy. This is the most active I've ever been in my life. Why am I gaining weight? And I had been watching some of my friends do this coaching thing, do these online workouts. They were so inspirational, so motivational. And I thought, maybe there is something to this. And it took me, again, I'm a slow, stubborn person, so it took me a while to get started with them. But I signed up to be a coach and started doing workouts from home. And I got so strong, and my running improved. And I just loved how I was feeling. So one of the fantastic things about coaching is the emphasis on personal growth and personal development. And that is really like where the magic happens. And so these tips that I'm going to give you tonight really are the things that, obviously my health changed. My health changed because I started looking at how I was eating, how I was fueling my body. I'm more active. I do workouts. I still do run. But the mind is really, when I look at what has happened since all of this began for me, it's really a mindset shift. And so this is what I want to share. So my first tip, without further ado, my first tip is mindset. So I've been doing this webinar every couple weeks or so because it's always bringing in new people, and I feel like this is such important information. I want to continue to get it out there because it has helped me so much. And when I first kind of put my notes together for this webinar, we were in the thick of COVID, just coming out and being quarantined. And so my number one tip for mindset was really at that time, because people were really, really struggling, and a lot of people still are, is to limit the news that you're watching. Be informed, but know when that shift needs to happen for you, where you're either informed, but it's too much is too much. I talked to someone the other day who's having nightmares because of all the news that she's consuming. And, you know, it can be too much. So you have to, you know, learn how to filter it for yourself so that you're informed, but it's not consuming you. You know, and what I do, I have a morning routine that I do every single day. So August 2017, I read The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. I highly recommend that book. And he talks a lot about a morning routine and starting your day for you. And I really, really believe this. I don't believe that you have to necessarily do these things in the morning, but for me, it sets my day up so that I feel ready to take on whatever comes at me. My bucket is filled. And some of the things that I do in the morning when I wake up is I do my gratitude. I do my affirmations. And I read 15 minutes of a personal development book. And these can be, it can be fixed, or sorry, not fixed, but it can be focused around whatever you're struggling with at the time. So if you're struggling with you know, confidence, or low confidence, or you're struggling with, you know, maybe you need to work on your financial life and you have some issues with money. It could be anything, marital issues, parenting issues, anything that you are struggling with, there is a personal development book for, and that it can help you. So I make sure that I read for 15 minutes, and then I listen to podcasts. And I listen to books on Audible, more personal development. I make sure to flood my mind with positivity, with empowerment, so that I know that whatever comes at me, I can take and I can make a difference with how I'm looking at something. So going back to gratitude, gratitude is huge. When I read Miracle Morning for the first time was when I started doing 3 things a day that I am grateful for. And this is something that I use in my therapy practice too. I'm going to put on my therapy hat for a second here, and a therapist hat. And gratitude has been proven to help even in the most traumatic of life events. And it's incredible. So sometimes when I mention gratitude, people kind of like poo-poo me and say, oh, of course I'm grateful. Being grateful and having a gratitude practice are 2 totally different things. So of course, a lot of people are grateful. You can, you know, say what you're grateful for and share them on Thanksgiving, but practicing gratitude day in and day out will have a huge impact on how you look at the world. And so every single day, as I said, I started out with 3 things that I'm grateful for. These things, if you're in a particularly shitty mood, and I'm sorry if there are children around, I do tend to swear. If you're in a bad mood, these things can be the freaking sneakers you have to put on your feet, the roof over your head, the blanket on your bed, the peanut butter in your cabinet. You know, it can be anything. And, you know, what it does when you start to look at what's good around you, you start to look for more good. You start to look for more positive things. You start to say, oh, you know what? This was an amazing thing that happened today. This is going to go on my gratitude list for tomorrow. So that's what the power of it does. And as I said, there's always something to be grateful for. So you just have to start looking for those things. And if you're someone that tends to not know what to look for, then going to those simple things can be really, really helpful. So one powerful thing, and this is something that I learned from Hal Elrod. He has that book Miracle Morning, but I love his book Miracle Equation as well. He talks about how you cannot change your first thought. So if you're somebody who's typically negative or a little bit pessimistic, you know, if your first thought is something negative, like I have nothing to be grateful for, nothing is good in my life, everything sucks, I'm home, and you know, there's a world pandemic, all my trips are canceled, my kids don't know if they can go to school, wah. You can't change your first thought, but you can always change your second thought. And that to me is so empowering because, it's not hopeless. If you wake up and you have one of those Debbie Downer moments, the world doesn't have to stop right there. You can say, all right, I had this thought, it was negative, this is not how I want to spend my day, or this is not how I want to start my day. I'm going to flip this, and I'm going to turn this into something positive. So take that and use that. If you can't change your first thought, you can change your second thought. So another thing that I do is my affirmations, and these are affirmations that I've written based upon my goals and where I want to go. And one of them, or actually two of them, my own coach helped me write. And these can be really simple, and they don't have to be like, I am the strongest in the world. If you don't believe it, it's not going to come to fruition for you. So you have to say, okay, I may not be the strongest that I want to be, but I'm on my way there. And you can start with an affirmation as simple as that. Take what your goals are and turn those into reality, because, and I hate to go too far into this, but if you've watched The Secret or you believe in any of this stuff, I know that it can seem a little far out there because I definitely thought it was in the beginning, but really you have the power to create anything that you want to create. And if you want to open your eyes and look at the world with that negative mindset on, that it'll be negative for you. But if you want to open your eyes and look for the good, look for the positive, look for the rainbows, you can do that too. The choice is yours. So watch how you talk about yourself and other people. Are you talking crap about other people? Are you talking badly about yourself? Are you talking negatively about your body, about who you are? These things are going to have an impact on you. I really, really believe this. And I grew up as an only child, so my family will tell you I'm missing the understanding of some sibling relations. I just don't even get it. My husband grew up with brothers, so I'm often put in my place. You don't know how siblings work, so why are you talking? But I really believe in building other people up and building yourself up too. Even if you're like, I believe in laughing at myself, but there's a difference between laughing at something I did, like forgetting to put the Zoom link in the event, versus really like talking badly about myself or saying I'm stupid or saying I'm, chronically irresponsible or something like that. Be careful of how you talk to yourself. You're saying these things to yourself, and no matter what your intention is, you're hearing that, and that can have an impact on how you think of yourself. And like everything to me is about my kids. I mean, I love myself too, but I also want these humans that I brought into this crazy world to grow up the best that they can. And I want them to look at themselves and see the good and know how to talk to themselves and know how to treat other people. I believe in the world is better the kinder that you are. So I want them and me and everyone else to be as kind as they can to be to other people and to each other and to themselves. So watch how you talk about yourself, watch how you talk about other people. One thing that I've really learned through coaching, through personal development, is that the people who are going to do big things and who are shooting to do big things are not talking crap about other people, because that's not going to serve them. I really, really believe in this, and this is why I love my coaching community so much, because we're focused on our goals, what we're trying to do, how we're trying to grow, how we're trying to be better people and help other people around us. We're not talking crap about Sally next door and what she's up to and what she's wearing and blah, 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 blah. I've got no time for gossip. So watch all of that, because that has an impact on your mindset too. Some personal development recommendations that I have, as I said, Miracle Morning. Here you go. Miracle Equation. That's another Hal Elrod book. He is amazing to listen to. He started out as a Cutco salesman, and I laugh now because I just did a Cutco demonstration with a friend's daughter last week. Ended up buying way more knives than I probably will ever need. But what he learned through that is that, so it was a sales tactic that they taught at Cutco, and it was that you should focus. If something upsets you, gets you mad, gets you sad, you have 5 minutes to feel those feelings. You set an alarm, and at the end of the 5 minutes, you let it go and you move forward. That was a skill that he learned at Cutco. And in that sales industry, you know, it's hard to sell knives, I would imagine. And he learned that and implemented that in his life every day. And then he was in a car accident and he was told that he was going to never walk again. He lost all ability to walk. And he used that skill in the hospital. And the doctors told his parents, I think he's delusional. He's not grasping the fact that he's not going to be able to walk again. His parents came in the room and said, Hal, you know, the doctors think you're delusional. What's going on? And Hal was like, don't you know me by now? I, you know, felt those feelings for 5 minutes and now I'm moving on. I'm moving forward. I cannot control what happened. I cannot control this news that I heard. I can only control my mind moving forward. And he got to work and he walks again. And he used this same thing again when he was diagnosed with a very serious form of cancer. And guess what? He's gotten rid of that cancer too. So, yeah, I love that book. And that was a side note. Everything is Figure Outable. That's a fantastic book. Mastering Your Mean Girl, 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. I can give you recommendations till the cows come home. If you have a certain thing you're dealing with or struggling with, I can help direct you. I really, really am a huge fan and component of putting positivity in your mind. I listen to PD when I'm getting ready in the morning. I listen to it in the car, or especially when I used to drive around a lot more. I listen to it when I'm cooking dinner. The more that you're hearing things that are going to better your life, the better off you'll be. And if you're not familiar with personal development, or you kind of think, you know, self-help aisle in the bookstore is hokey, check out Brene Brown and Rachel Hollis. They both have documentaries on Amazon Prime and Netflix. It's a really good way to branch into this realm of helping yourself. Tony Robbins is a great one, but they have great movies and you will feel pumped up. So, oh, thank you, Tanya or Tanya. I don't want to say your name wrong. Thank you. Okay, and if you have any other recommendations, I'm happy. I have a nice PDF that kind of goes into different subjects, but I'm happy to share those. And one more thing about PD is that not everything is going to speak to everyone. And I think kind of having some insight into what you're struggling with or what you're dealing with is really helpful for that too, because what speaks to me right now may not speak to Kathy. And, you know, what speaks to Kathy may not speak to me right now, or what's speaking to Amber, you know, you get what I'm saying. But I revisit books at different times in my life. I have a lot of business books that I like. I go back and reread those. I'm a really big believer in going back and rereading things because it helps keep that knowledge up and can touch you in a different way than it did before. So always be open-minded to that too. All right, number 2, intentionality. This is freaking huge. So really, really being crystal clear on your goals. What are your goals? What do you want to do? What are you trying to do? What are you wanting to do a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now? Where do you want to be? What do you have to do to get to that point? Like I said in the beginning, running a 5K was always on my list, but didn't go any further than that. It wasn't pick a race and plan it out. It wasn't pick a training plan for a 5K and tackle that training plan. It was just run a 5K. Well, if you don't break it down, if you don't figure out what steps you need to take, you're never going to do it. So that's why I never did it. The only reason I ended up doing it is because I said, okay, I'm running this. I want to run this race because I just saw my daughter do it and I was dying, you know, with my smoker's lungs on the bench. And I finally signed up for a race. So I picked my race. It was an October MS race. It was a Halloween dress up one. I bought it on Groupon actually, so cheap. And and then I downloaded, or no, there was no apps then. That was like before apps and smartphones. I mean, we had cell phones. I'm not that old. But I printed out the Couch to 5K steps. That's why I did it, because I made those steps. So what are your goals? What do you want to do and how are you going to get there? And you have to be crystal clear on what those steps need to be. What do you have to do? What kind of time do you need to accomplish those goals? So when I started coaching, I had no intention on actually coaching. I just wanted to get a discount on products and I wanted to have heightened accountability for my goals. And I wanted to be a better runner. That was really my goal at the time. And what did I need to do? At that time, in order to accomplish my program, which was 30 minutes a day, I needed to get up a half an hour earlier to do to do that workout. That was it. That was all I needed to do. So what is your goal? Is your goal to work out? Then make a plan. Put it in your planner in a time that you can accomplish. So don't make it something that is not going to be, if you have another plan during that time, you're not going to do it. You have to do it at a time that you're actually going to accomplish it, and make it a date. Make it like an appointment with your boss or an appointment with your dentist. You need to accomplish that appointment or that goal. So are you spending your time doing actions that are going to lead you to your goals? So at first that was how my coaching was, and it evolved into me wanting to grow this business. So it's easy to get stuck in this business and not do anything with it because you don't know what you're supposed to be doing, or you're not allotting the time necessary to do it. What do you have to do to move your business forward? What do you have to do? Do you have to talk to your coach about how to accomplish goals to move your business forward? Do you need to, I don't know, but you get my point. Are you spending time doing things that are leading to your goals? Be real with yourself. Do an audit on your cell phone. Your cell phone will tell you exactly what you're spending time doing, especially if you're somebody who likes to scroll social media. Be real. Do a time audit. I talk to so many people who say that they don't have time. They don't have time for this. They don't have time for that. Guys, we all have the same 24 hours in a day. It's a matter of what is a priority to you. Whatever is important to you, you're going to find time for. Before I started all of this, I spent time harvesting my plants on Farmville. I played Candy Crush like a badass. I was on some high level of Candy Crush. I used to spend money on Candy Crush. I didn't have money to spend on a health and fitness program, but I had money to spend on Candy Crush. And I would leave events sometimes to harvest crops from Farmville. For real. Like, that was really what I did with my time. But if you asked me, Melissa, can you commit to a fitness program? I would have told you, hell no, I don't have time for that. I've got 8 shows that I watch every week. Every night I had a show to watch. So, and I'm not here to judge you guys. This is where I was at the time. It's just about getting real. And, you know, if somebody had said to me, Melissa, do you really not have time to do a 30-minute workout? If you asked me to evaluate my schedule, I would have said, oh my God, of course I have a half an hour to devote to that. You know, that's time away from my farm. That's time that I'm not in my garage smoking a cigarette. So be real with yourself. Write down your goals. That's part of my morning routine. I write down my goals every single day. What do I want to do? And really, at this point in my life, coaching has allowed me to get really, really crystal clear on my goals. And my goal has always, as I said to you guys, being a mom has been a really crucial part in my life. And I've wanted to be here for my kids. I want to go to the dentist appointments, the doctor's appointments, the sporting events, the school events. That is a non-negotiable for me. That, you know, that is just what I want to be. That's the kind of mom I want to be. I want to read the books when they invite parents in and go glue shit on a poster for something, whatever it is, I want to be there. That's what I signed up for when I had kids. That's really, really important to me. And, but what happened was, and this kind of got lost in translation, but I always wanted to be a good mom. So I signed up for being PTO president, signed up to run the Girl Scout troop, signed up for this board and that board and this meeting and this meeting. And what would end up happening was I was working a full-time job. I was running around like a crazy woman. I was exhausted, overwhelmed. At Girl Scout meetings, I ended up yelling at my kid more than any other kid because mine wasn't listening. We weren't spending time together at the Girl Scout meetings. At the PTO meetings, my kid was in childcare with teachers that were working after school for extra money. Was that being a good mom? And I'm not saying some people may be able to do this and balance it all, and God bless you, but that was not me. I was struggling. So then what was I doing? I was coming home and farming my farm on Farmville and smoking a cigarette in the garage to calm down. And that was my self-care. That was how I took care of myself. And what is so awesome about my life now is that my goals that I write down every day are to be a patient and loving mom. So what the hell does that mean? It means that I'm not outsourcing everything for my kids. It means that I'm not spending time on useless things that take my energy away from my kids. I would rather sit down and watch a movie or read a book or go pick blueberries with my kids and spend actual time with them than go drag them to a PTO meeting and tell myself that this is for my kids. So I let go of everything. And this is talking pre-COVID. I'm not a Girl Scout leader anymore. I'm not on the PTO anymore. I don't even go to PTO meetings, to be quite honest, because I would rather be home having dinner with my kids. And, again, this is what I had to do to protect my energy so that when I went to bed at night, because what happened before I started doing this is I would go to bed and I would feel like shit. I yelled at my kids probably the whole time that I saw them that day. I was exhausted. I was run down. I had nothing to give because I was empty. And oh my God, it's so sad. It makes me sad. But now I realize that I have to be filled, and I want to give to my kids, my husband, the people in my life that care about me. I want to be able to be the best that I can be for them. And I can only do that if I've cared for myself. So I am just kind of on a rampage today, but that is super, super important. I had to really be crystal clear. Patient and loving mom. Those things mean to me that I'm listening to my kids. I'm not screaming at them. I'm, a present mom. I'm putting down my phone when my son wants to tell me 11,000 stories about his Roblox games. That I am able to be here for them in a way that I wasn't before. Being an exceptional wife, not just a good wife, an exceptional wife. I know, and this is something also that I've learned through coaching, that for so long I was stuck in that, well, he's not treating me this way, so I'm going to act this way. When I give, I get. And I know that can sound selfish, but it's so freaking true, guys. If you want a more loving marriage, be a more loving partner. It's so true. And it took me a long time to break out of that cycle. But the more that I give my husband, even when I don't want to, and I don't mean like honor your feelings, and like if you're in an abusive relationship, like this is a whole other story. But when I am giving, I get. And it's such an amazing thing. And the book that really helped me with that was the Gratitude Diaries. Again, I'm a huge component of gratitude, but the first chapter is all about marriage. And really, if you also read 5 love languages, when you know your spouse's love language, you can fill their cup up. And when their cup is filled, they want to fill yours. That's just how we work as humans. So fill that other person's cup, their cup is going to be filled, and they're going to want to fill yours. And my house, like, I feel like I'm at some point going to cry because this is all making me really emotional. But like, my house was not like this before. It was not. I mean, it was not, as I said, like, it was just really unhealthy. And we were just stuck in that, like, well, I want this, but they're being like this. And my husband and I spent years in therapy. And along with that and these concepts, we've really come to a place that we're able to be here during the quarantine and living healthy. And that's incredible. So get really crystal clear on what your goals are. And so my goals right now is, as I said, patient and loving mom, exceptional wife, and moving my business forward. That's it. 3 goals. If I don't do anything that doesn't lead me to those goals. So everything else is eliminated. It's just a matter of eliminating what doesn't matter to you. So, I have to sometimes say no to things. You have to learn how to say no. Are you a yes person? Are you here to people please everyone in the world? You have to protect your energy and protect what you're trying to do. And that might mean saying no to things and people. And for me, that's been a really empowering journey in saying no to people and things that are not serving me or my goals or my family. Yeah. And like I wrote down here financial goals because this is something that I wrote on my list for forever that I wanted to achieve as a goal is get out of debt. And, even as I feel like I've done so much with these things that I've learned, but like, I think it was like a couple months ago, I looked at that list and I'm like, get out of debt. I have to start like paying debt in order to accomplish that. So just writing something down isn't going to do anything. You have to take those steps to move forward. And once I like got real with myself with that, like, okay, in order to get out of debt, you must pay debt down, or at least have a plan to. And once I came up with a plan and started putting those systems in motion, I started seeing progress. And no, that is so freaking cool. Okay, number 3 is accountability. This, like, if you've listened to my stories, I talk about accountability, I think, every single day, because it is so freaking powerful. Saying what you're going to do and telling other people what your goals are, telling other people what your intentions are, saying it out loud to someone holds you to that more than it would if you don't. You know, as I said, I'm a coach. I run challenge groups that are online, and I talk to a lot of people, and sometimes people sign up for a program, and I say, okay, this is what you got to do for success. And sometimes people say, well, oh no, I can't, I'm not going to check into a group every day, or I can't put my face in a group, or I blah, 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 blah. And at this point, I just say, listen, this is what you're going to do to get success. At this point, 4.5 years into coaching, I can tell you what works and what doesn't work. I've seen it. I've seen it from me, and I've seen it from other people. The people that don't post, that don't use the accountability, do not reach success. They do not see success in the programs, because accountability is where the magic happens. If you just sign up for something and you never say anything and you never contribute and nobody knows what you're doing, nobody knows where you are because you've never said anything, you're going to give up, because nobody's there to hold you to it. I can message you as your coach. I message my customers all the time. Hey, how are you? How's your program? But you know what? If I've messaged you a week ago and I messaged you 2 weeks from then, and you've given up on your program entirely, and then, oh, that didn't work for me. No, you didn't work it. And so I say to people, listen, you are an adult. You have a phone. Everybody has a phone at this point. Set a reminder in your phone every day to check into your accountability group. Check in your accountability group. That will hold you to it. Because then guess what? Kathy checks into her accountability group every day. Amber sees that she's there. They start a relationship. And then Amber says, where's Kathy been? Kathy, where are you? And Kathy says, oh my God, I took the day off. Thank you, Amber. I'm so glad that you said something. I'll be back tomorrow. That's how accountability works. So I use accountability in my groups. I use it on social media. If I need to get to a goal, or I want to get to a goal, I share it. I say to my Instagram story viewers, hey, one week I said, hey, I have no idea how many hours I work on my coaching business. Can somebody ask me on Friday how many hours I worked this week? Guess what? Nobody did end up asking me that question, but being that I said it out loud, I was like, what if somebody does? I better freaking figure out how many hours I worked. And I did, and I figured out my answer, and that was that. So, who are you surrounding yourself with? You are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And, this can include TV too, which I think is really cool, but, or not, depending on what you're watching. But really pay attention. If you're trying, like for me, let's say, I'll use myself as an example. I'm trying to accomplish a big goal in my business. So who do I want to surround myself with? I want to surround myself with other entrepreneurs who are moving forward in their business, or just have big goals in general. I want to be around people who are moving forward, growing, learning, not talking crap about other people. So I pay attention to this, and I want to be around the people that are doing shit. I want to be around the movers and the goers and the go-getters and the people who dream big and want to do awesome shit. Like that's what gets me going. So really, really get real with yourself. Are you around people that, are stuck or don't have big goals, or maybe don't even support where you're going? And maybe you have to limit the time that you spend with people like that. I know for me, I have a core group of people that I grew up with. I love them dearly. They're like family to me. But sometimes when I'm around them, I feel like I'm that person again, and I'm so different than I was in high school. And you know, I think when you have relationships that are that long, maybe sometimes you don't even realize how much people have grown. So I limit the time that I spend with them, because I am a different person now, and I have different goals that are moving in a different direction. So just be cautious about who you're spending your time with. Make sure that it's intentional. Everything goes back to all of these concepts, right? Being intentional. How are you spending your time? What are you doing to move yourself forward? And who are the people that you're around? So yeah, if you, when you say a goal out loud, you're held accountable to that goal. And if you don't say anything, you can back out on it. We have challenge groups for health and fitness programs. We have one going on right now for nutrition. And I will tell you, you know, being a coach, as I said in the beginning, this is why I signed up as a coach, for discount on products and for more accountability. And being a coach, like, I have to show up, right? So we're running this nutrition group, and we have to track our food every single day, because that's what we've committed to. And putting my picture in every day, and writing on my tracker what I've eaten, and tagging my accountability partner. Like, I have to be better because I said I would be better for this group and for these people and for my partner. So when you have groups like this, when you have people that are helping you and that are there for you and have similar goals. And the awesome part about our accountability group, our ongoing accountability group, is that, you know, oh my God, it's just freaking amazing. But what happens in there is you develop these relationships with these people because you all come together. You may have different goals entirely. You're living totally different lives, maybe in different states, different areas, different lifestyles. But what do you have in common? You have this one goal that you're trying to live a healthier life. That's it. That's it. So I've seen people come together in these groups because of buddying up and like seeing the friendships blossom. And as I said, if Amber doesn't show up one day, where's Amber? What's going on? You know, where did she go? What's happening? Are you okay? And accountability is just the glue that holds everything together. So this is why I'm so freaking passionate about what I do as a coach and how this has helped change my life. These concepts are all things that I've been reading about and learning about and then implementing for the last 4.5 years. And it's not been an overnight journey for me. This is stuff that has been years and years in the making, but I'm so passionate about them. So passionate that I now, like, when it comes to therapy, this is the stuff that I'm talking about. And I think, honestly, it makes some people mad. Like, why am I paying this therapist and she's talking about these basic concepts? Because they're so basic. I feel like we tend to overcomplicate things. You want to be healthier, you want a better life, move your body, work on your gratitude and your mindset, and plug the positive shit into your life. Get hooked up with accountability of any kind. Whatever your goal is, find accountability for that goal, and be really intentional with your time. If you feel like you have no time, let's look at that. Let's look at where your time is going and how you can adapt what your schedule is to fit what you want to do. So this is really, really so powerful in my life. So in my groups, in coaching particularly, is focused on mindset. You know, I believe in our challenge group and working as a customer with a program, all of that. But the coaching piece is where you get the mindset stuff. The coaching piece is where you are encouraged and you're surrounded with so much positivity and people, as I said, who are doing big things and dreaming big and learning to believe in themselves, believe in their abilities, believe in their, you know, what they have to offer the world. Like, this has given me so much purpose that, you know, it just blows my mind every single day, because I've always been somebody who loves to help others. I was the president of the community service club in high school, and I'm a therapist. I've always loved giving to the community, to the world, to other people. And this is like, giving people such basic concepts that they can take and just utilize. And I challenge you, try the gratitude. Try 3 to 5 things every single day and see what changes in a month, because I guarantee you something will. It shifted everything in how I looked at things. So I want to, yeah, the community is so life-changing, because it's, as I said, everyone coming together to focus on their goals and move themselves forward in a positive, engaging atmosphere. So I want to do the raffle prize winner for the Unicorn Magic for the pre-workout, but I want to show you guys how you can sign up to be a part of this if this is something that you want to implement into your life. Obviously, these concepts can be done right now, but if you want to be part of the community that I've been talking about, I want to just share those options with you. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. All right, you guys see that? Can you guys see the screen?
It's still loading.
Okay. Okay. Can you now?
Nope, it's still loading.
Is it really? Do you see my face?
Now it's good. Now it's good.
Okay. Okay, so these are some options to get you started. So the package on the left is my favorite pre-workout. I drink that every single morning. I use it as my coffee. I call it Unicorn Magic, and it is an all natural plant-based pre-workout. Kathy loves it. I use it as my coffee, as I said, and it basically it sharpens your focus, gets you all hyped up, gets you through your workout, and gets you going. You drink that and you want to take on the world. And then the next package is a total body solution. So this is going to get you an entire year of workouts, an entire month of Shakeology, which is the shake I've been drinking for 4.5 years. Totally changed my blood work, improved my digestion. It's just the best. And it would get you everything that's here. So as I said, the group for accountability and support, every single day we have a post in the group for engagement, and it just challenges you to think and just be better. Like, just be better. That's it. The goal is to be better every single day. So this package is actually, I don't know why, oh, there it is, $160, but you actually get a lot more this month for that package. You get the brand new program that we have just come out with, and you also get a weighted jump rope, and this is a mind blower, but you also get 2 of our nutrition programs, the 2B Mindset and the Ultimate Portion Fix. You get all of that for $160, so this is actually needs to be updated. And then the next package is the same exact package, except you're going in as a coach. The number 2 is just as a customer. Number 3 is all in as a coach. You get everything that I mentioned before. You just get access to our other coaching group. And as I said, when you're a coach, you get a discount on all the products. You get all sorts of business training, mentorship. You get more accountability. The minute, even though I didn't want to coach in the beginning, the minute I signed up as a coach, I felt like I needed to be better because of it. And that helped me. It helped me stick to my program more. It helped me to be the best that I could be, because I said I was a coach. You know, I told my kids I was a coach. I told my freaking kids I was a coach. So if I tell my kids something, I'm going to be the best that I can be because I want them to know what they're capable of doing too. So yeah, so those are the options, and I'm going to put this into the chat. This so in case you want to look at this, you can. And then these are just some results. That's my girl Cheryl. That there is a fantastic 21-day nutrition program that I love. That's what she did. My husband, that's Tucker. He got amazing results from 2 back-to-back sessions of 10 rounds, our shadow boxing and weightlifting program. And then my girl Megan is on the right. And here's like just more about me. I know I've shared a lot, but here's some more information about me. Let me, oh my gosh, how do I get back now? Okay, let me put this in the chat. Yeah, yeah, as long as as long as you work out after drinking that and not be sitting in a meeting. Okay, so let me see who we've got in the event for the prize. Does anyone have any questions? Any questions? You can type them or talk. Okay. So only one person did it. So Tennille's my big winner. She tagged 5 friends, so she gets to try my pre-workout. So if you guys don't have any questions, I really, really appreciate you all being here. Thank you so much for coming and listening, and I hope that you heard something that you can implement in your life. All right, guys, have a good one.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye, Melissa. Take care.
Bye.